On this week's show, Lovecraft to anime, fighting fantasy to digital, and Excalibur to fools. Hello and welcome to the Fancy News Show from the Bottled Imp. My name is Ken Boyter and this is your weekly fix of fancy news. First up, DreamWorks buys the rights to the forthcoming the forthcoming fantasy adventure series, The Wizards of Once. These books are the next fantasy series from How to Train Your Dragon author Cressida Cowell. Sorry again for the pronunciation. And DreamWorks Animation has now acquired all the rights to all the books in the series. And the first book in the series, which is also titled The Wizard of Once, will be out in September from Hodder Children's Books and from Little Brown Books for young readers in the US. And Chris DeFreya, president of DreamWorks Feature Animation Group, said, "The story is packed with the perfect elements to create a unique magical universe inhabited by adventurous, funny, and memorable characters that will enthrall generations to come. We are honoured to have another opportunity to partner with this amazingly creative author." So very exciting news there. If you liked the How to Train Your Dragon series of films, you're probably going to like that. Winter Tide is the first book in the Innsmouth legacy, written by Ruthanna Emrys. The book is set in 1928, with the US government rounding up people of Innsmouth, taking them to the desert, far from the ocean, their deep-one ancestors, and their sleeping god Cthulhu. I don't know how you pronounce this one, sorry. Afra, I think it's Afra, and Caleb Marsh survive the camps, and they emerge without a past or a future. Afra must return to the ruins of her home, gather scraps of her stolen history, and assemble a new family to face the darkness of human nature. Now, Ruthanna Emrys lives in a mysterious manor house, apparently, according to a little blog on her website, and her stories have appeared in a number of places, including Strange Horizons, Analog, and Tor.com. Wintertide is her first novel, and the book is due out on the 4th of April in the US and the 14th of May in the UK, and they're published by Tor Books. H.P. Lovecraft is to get the anime film treatment. Yamato, there we go. Yamato Works is creating the project titled Force of Will, and the story revolves around a young girl who has the power to give life to things that she writes. I always like that kind of idea that a writer then has some sort of real life power when they use their imagination. And the feature film is inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu, as a monster stalks and destroys everything that crosses his path. Very little is known about the project so far, although we do know that the soundtrack is by Yutaka Yamada, known for his composition for Tokyo Ghoul, and it's directed by Shueisha Morita. I don't know why I do this to myself. Hey. Anyway, there's no release date yet, but as you can see, if you look at the trailer from YouTube, it does look beautiful. It looks stunning. It's full of adventure and explosions and that kind of thing, as you'd probably expect. But there does also seem to be a good kind of emotional through line with the characters as well. Plus, they do have a Facebook page, so you can search for Force of Will, the movie, in Facebook. We will also be putting little descriptions as well little links in the description of this episode, so you can click on those and get easy access to them. Nomad Games announces Fighting Fantasy Legends digital game. Nomad Games have teamed up with Fighting Fantasy in conjunction with legendary authors Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone to create a new video fantasy game set in the world of the Fighting Fantasy books. So excited about this. Fighting Fantasy Legends is a card-based role-playing game that will feature 3 iconic books from the series: City of Thieves, The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, and the Citadel of Chaos. The player will explore the continent of Alinzeia, collecting cards and powering up their dice. Tricky dimensions lurk around every corner as the players advance through decks of cards themed to their location, including cities, dungeons, and more. As we reported last week, the Fighting Fantasy books are celebrating their 35th anniversary, so what better way to celebrate than a digital game? Fighting Fantasy Legends will be coming to Steam, iOS and Android later this year. Nomad Games have released an announcement trailer that you can view on YouTube, or you can go to their website, which is nomadgames.co.uk/fighting fantasy. Excalibur sword has been found in a Welsh lake. Or has it? A sword which dates back to the 6th century and the days of King Arthur has been discovered in a Welsh lake. The sword was discovered by National Trust rangers whilst working on the footpaths near Llewen Ogwen in Snowdonia. And after careful cleaning and verification, experts have revealed that the sword dates back around 1,500 years. That is an old sword. Lead Ranger Dewey Roberts said, "We were just resurfacing a section of the path when a glint caught my attention. We weren't sure what it was to begin with, so we carried on digging. Even though it was covered in mud, it was obvious we'd found a sword." He also stated, "We are continuing to work with Arthurian experts and archaeologists to verify the exact age of the sword and whether the faint embellishments along the hilt match the sword descriptions in the Mabligonian." The sword will be on display at Ogwen Cottage with more information available at the Rangers base. I'm assuming that they'll tell you there if you actually go there. That's all very exciting, fellow imps. They possibly could have discovered Excalibur. But as a viewer of the Bottled Imp and a member of the Facebook group, the Fellowship of Imps, Sally, she pointed out that look at when the story was published on the National Trust website. And I did. And it was the 1st of April. So, was this just an elaborate joke? Was it a trick? Was it an archaeologist's little trick? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But you can find out for yourself if you go and visit their website, which is nationaltrust.org.uk. Yes, I'll mention this. We have actually reviewed the 1981 John Borman Excalibur film. So if you've not checked out that review, go check it out now on our YouTube channel. Kickstarter news. Blue Eyes and the Beastling is a graphic novel written by two sisters. When I say written, one's done the drawings and one has written it. Carla Weigela is the illustrator of the project, and her sister R.C. Young is the writer, and together they have set up Hidden Door Comics. The project itself is a fairy tale graphic novel illustrated in watercolour that revisits classic stories of romance, mystery and adventure. The story is about a young woman who is too beautiful for her own good, drawing upon the wrath of a wicked elf queen who imprisons her in a magical and mysterious castle. The book will be approximately 8 by 10.5 inches. It's hardcover with 160 pages, including pages of production art, character design, creator commentary, and even a preview of their next book. They've got plenty of illustrations on their campaign page, and the watercolours are really beautiful, really of a high quality. Nice pen work in there as well. It just looks beautiful. It's got a nice fairy tale feel to them. It's almost funded, and it finishes on the 29th of April. Of Monsters and Valons, a Dragon Band anthology is, yes, you've guessed it, an anthology of epic fantasy adventures. The premise linking the stories is that creatures of all shapes and sizes came from the hills, forests and mountains. As the harsh winter spread, they grew a taste for human flesh. Newly formed Valons, or monster hunters, marched from the city of Darvelon in order to vanquish the threat. The book will be a collection of approximately 15 epic fantasy short stories written by veteran authors and skilled newfound authors alike. It's edited by Aaron Wolfe and Joel Norden, with the original cover art by Jamie Noble Fryer. And there are 15 authors. Some are award-winning, most are very, very experienced, and these include Alric Longward, writer of the 10 Tears Chronicles and Thief of Midgard series, Jean Rabe, who has written for the Dragonlance series and the Forgotten Realms series, And Ree Soesby, written for the Dragonlance series, Star Trek, Guild Wars, Deadlands, and Legend of the Five Rings. And Lucien Solban, twice nominated BAFTA writer for Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. So some good pedigree in the author list there. The anthology is available in digital and paperback formats with various other rewards that you can also pledge for too. It finishes on the 16th of May. Dominic Marriott is designing and making RPG Pathfinder, or, depending on what you play, Dungeons & Dragons hardwood dice boxes. Role-playing fans will be able to store 2 full sets of dice in these hardwood cases. Each dice box measures 23 centimetres in length, 7 centimetres wide and 5 centimetres thick, and is made from one chunky solid piece of wood. Each dice chamber is felted and has a diameter of 2.5 centimetres, so there's lots of room for the dice. They're completely handmade by Dominic in his workshop in Norwich in Norfolk in the UK. There are 3 tiers to choose from: bronze, silver, gold. Each has different choices of types of wood that you can choose, a different colour, the different staining, and also the different colour felt. Plus there are plenty of add-ons such as engraving, so I'm assuming you can get your name engraved on there, or maybe your Dungeons & Dragons group. And you can also add little feet to the boxes as well, so that's pretty cool. Dominic has put plenty of pictures up on it and descriptions of each tier and the type of wood that you can choose, etc, etc. Plus, they do have a few stretch goals that you can also go for as well. It's already funded and finishes on the 30th of April. Bottled Imp News. We've mentioned this before, but come join us. Join the Fellowship of Imps. We've set up a Facebook group where it's a lively discussion happening now. We've got over 100 members, so come and join us. You can post things up, you know, maybe you've done a drawing, maybe you just read a book and you want to discuss that. Maybe you're looking for suggestions of board games to play. We have the answers. Well, hopefully anyway. There's lots of discussion going there, so come and join us. It's fun. All you need to do is just search in the Facebook groups for the Bottled Imp Fellowship, click the join button and we'll add you in. On this week's Friday Fantasy Show, we shall be looking at Series 1 of Game of Thrones. Oh yes, this is the big one. We've already looked at the books that the TV series is based on, and that's books 1 to 5, because that's all that George R.R. Martin has actually written so far. Come on, George, when's the next one? Come on! Anyway, so we were looking at the HBO series, massively popular. Let's find out why. So come join us this Friday when we review that. But that's all we have time for, fellow imps. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. If you like what we do, why don't you share it? Share it with friends, family, even strangers who may like fantasy. And you can come and join our Facebook group as well. Until the next time, keep it unreal, especially if you're a fellow imp.